Hey everybody, back and thanks for joining in. As I said before, this is not going to be a long live stream, primarily because of the time that I've already been on, and also the fact that this is kind of, how do you say, lawn over territory, right? But it's worth covering for a very good reason. And I'm not going to play the media game that others play. I'm just going to say it straight out. To my shock, Jedi Rich and Jedi Joy, Rich and Joy Lightlower actually decided to go out and, act like media people and get quotes. And they were in a Uber car, Uber driver car, going next to the stadium, and this Uber driver quoted what he had heard about it and saying that it's commonly known among the workers that they are 45 to 60 days behind. Under the title says behind by 45 days. I hedged to conservative, but still 45 days is, hey, that's almost 2 months. And I remember when we were talking about, when I did my video, I said this thing's not going to open until November. And if you peg their 45-day schedule to what they put up, let's say it's supposed to be open to August 6th or something like that. So you're looking at, Rob Byman, how you doing? You're looking at September. If you take 45 days, all right, you're looking at September. More worse than that. You're looking at almost into, yeah. Well, let's see here. It would take us from, a month would be August 6th, if it's August 6th, to September 6th. Okay. I'm still on live. One moment, please. At any rate, so it would take us to 45 days out. So that would be September 6th. So we add another, of course, we add another 15 days onto that. So you're looking at, ooh, my goodness. Yeah, you're looking at the 21st of September before it opens. And that is heading into, it's definitely late. If it's 45 days off, and that's the minimum. If it's 60 days, there's a problem. If it's 45 days off, the NFL could start the season by front loading the away games. Okay. And in front loading the away games, let's see here. 2000, yeah, they could do it that way. They could front load the away games and still manage to fit them into the schedule for next year. It will be a tight fit, but that's only at a 45-day delay. If it's 60 days, that's 3 months, and then all bets are off. You might as well just kiss the season goodbye, and kiss the season goodbye for Las Vegas. Stay in Oakland and activate that option. That's what's going on. So that's what's going on now. The way I calculate it, the way that I'm looking at it, you're not going to see the NFL season next year. And because they're already behind to a point where they're looking at October. From the way that I looked at it, they're looking at October before they can open. And that definitely, definitely puts them off to a place where they cannot at all even think of having the full NFL season there. They just can't. Okay. Rob Iman says, I think they're more than 60 days behind, says Rob, and he says NBC would want the Vegas opener. And then he says Raiders could potentially lose Sunday Night Football revenue from a Vegas delay. Quite possible. Quite possible. And then I've got this guy, Tom Mitchell, bugging me on another video about, he's saying that it's fake news, the stadium's delayed. This Tom Mitchell guy is not Tom Mitchell, just some fake news guy. that started another Twitter account just to post his idea. I don't understand why there are so many people who are invested in advancing a lie about the stadium. That's what I don't understand. It's quite rampant, and I've never seen anything like this before with NFL Stadium. Okay, at all, um, at all. Why it's so important to cover up the obvious is interesting, and it reminds me of something that a News 3 Las Vegas worker said to me, that there were hands involved in the Raiders deal that shouldn't be there. Now, what did that person mean? I don't know. I still don't know to this day what that person meant. Hands involved in the Raiders deal that shouldn't be there. I don't know what that means. And Donut says I make him happy. Hey, as I've said before, if they're going to do it right. So far, this thing has had problem after problem after problem. I mean, if it's not the steel issue, then it's the hotel stadium tax issue, and I have to fairly remark that May hotel visitor counts for Clark County have rebounded by 1.7% over last year, and approximately over 6% for convention visitor counts over May of last year. So that's good news, but it continues to be this way. Overall, it's like this. It's not what you'd like to see, and what was told to us to expect. Okay, but I do believe that we're coming to a point of a kind of not a flatlining, of a bottoming out of this sinking of the stadium tax revenue. Al's cousin says the hands that shouldn't be there, organized crime, perhaps. I don't want to say that, Al, because I don't know what that looks like in today's age. What does organized crime look like today? What does it look like when you say hands that shouldn't be there? I don't know what that looks like, and so if I don't know what it looks like, I can't put a face on that. I don't know what that is. Now, if you take that that moniker away from it, are you telling me that there are people there that are doing something nefarious? And if so, who? Right? I do know, and I do rest on one fact. There is a big effort to not tell the truth about the stadium, and I've never seen that attached to an NFL stadium. The National Football League itself should be very concerned how that comes off. I know for a fact the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, is, because I know Roger Goodell. Roger would not easily stomach this. Now, he has some forces at work against him, most notably Jerry Jones, and I don't mean against him in a way that's where he hates them, but Jerry is a maverick. He's a guy who understands how to turn a buck, and he sees a way to do that here. The way that he sees to do it, I contend, is as fascinating and potentially lucrative as it is dangerous and potentially criminal. All right? So, Donut says, and I say the team's legacy belongs in Oakland. Sorry. Well, that's cool. All I'm saying is, regardless of that, the simple fact of the matter is that we are here. Okay? And if you want success, put your effort into helping the attorneys get information. That's the way you do it. Do some work, But yeah, so Jedi Rich and Jedi Droid did this. I'm not going to post their video. It's not my video. I'm still candidly very uncomfortable with the way that I was treated by the couple. It was uncalled for, unnecessary. And I will say this again, if they happen to see this, you don't assume that someone is against you because somebody else said something. You have enough belief and intestinal fortitude in yourself to march ahead with that person with something that they're working on, particularly if that person is advancing you, if they're promoting what you're doing. I happen to like what the Raider 1967 does as well. I do not agree with his diagnosis. Okay, but there you go. Cowboy Rush says, "Z, the Jedi couple treat you wrong." Yeah, they did. I would prefer not to dwell on it because I've talked about it before. It's If you go to Oakland News Now, you can read about it. It's even got the text messages there. Just okay, what the heck? I will talk about it. So what happened was Jedi Rich contacted me by text and told me of this whole workers story that he had and about what they said about the trusses being turned upside down or had elements of them that were upside down. That's controversial, and I felt that he needed to go out and say that on that should have a worker or three on the record saying, "Hey, look, this is what's going on." Okay. And so I asked by text, and I hate texting, but I did ask, when did they originally get the story? Because when Jedi Rich and I were communicating by text, it was 22nd of June, and then I got this text back, was the 14th, but the text was a different tone, and it turned out to be his whatever they are, wife or significant other, Jedi Joy, and she said 14th, and then to make a long story short, she said that it was hers. I said, "Why did you sit on it?" She says, I asked her, "Why did you sit on it?" She says, "It's my story. I can do what I want." And I don't view information that way. If you're putting out something for me to share, and your husband, Jedi Joy, has specifically contacted me to blog about it, and he's put that in black and white, okay, then I'm not going to stop with something that valuable just because she thinks all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it's her information to hold and protect, as if I'm not going to say, "Hey, this came from them," because I said it came from them, right? There was no justification for her point of view. Zero. And then she says there are people who think, they question your credibility. I can give a big flying fucking rat's ass what anyone thinks of me. Okay? Period. I know I'm right. Person doesn't like it, you know what? That's that person's problem, not mine. But it's hilarious how people come at, bring this up like I don't know what they expect to accomplish. And, hey, look, I can, and I have, ticket off the number of times I've been correct about this thing. Period. Okay? I mean, I had some guy who claimed to be a Raiders fan in Las Vegas, actually lived in Denver, and made barbecue and was a real estate agent. Okay? There have been a lot of lies out here. I mean, I'm thinking, why? What is it about this that just drives some people so nutty, so batty? It's hilarious. It's also not necessary at all. Okay, Cowboy Rusher says, especially a public finance stadium that to some is controversial. Sure. But the way you deal with the controversy is you have weekly press updates, as the San Francisco Transbay Joint Powers Authority did with respect to Salesforce Transit Center. And when problems come up, you deal with them head on. You disclose as much information as you possibly can. You answer every question. You leave no question stone unturned. And you opt for complete openness as much as possible every step of the way, okay? So Cowboy says, we're talking about the Raiders. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter, It doesn't matter. I don't think that the Raiders have any cachet or bear any praise for being the Raiders in this situation. It's not a great situation. And the for the Las Vegas Review-Journal to basically help, advance this idea that they're on schedule when they're not, is just simply not the right thing to do. Okay, that's just the way it is, and it's unfortunate, but you got to tell it like it is. I will say this again for the umpteenth time: Las Vegas Stadium is a project Las Vegas needs. I will repeat: Las Vegas Stadium is a project Las Vegas needs. As much as Oakland did lose the Raiders because the Raiders were not straightforward with Oakland, which is why we're in court. Oakland also did not do or take certain actions that arguably would have left them clean. In other words, the Raiders could not have blamed them for anything. For example, if Oakland Mayor Levy Schaff had given the Coliseum land to the NFL with a kind of a deal where the city would get back, revenue over a period of time from the NFL and the Raiders, the Raiders would have had nothing to say. It would have been on top of the Raiders not if the NFL had not voted that way, the Raiders way. If the NFL had voted for the Raiders anyway, with that, the city would have had an excellent, even better reason to sue, saying, hey, look, we gave them everything, and yet they treated us like this. They not only, poo-pooed our proposal that they wanted, but as it turned out, they never wanted to be here anyway, and they didn't tell us. So they didn't operate in good faith. That's the scenario the city of Oakland should have worked to set up. But as it was, because they didn't, it doesn't mean that the city of Oakland's misfortune and bad treatment on behalf of the Raiders was justified. It doesn't mean the Raiders had a right to do that. They didn't. Okay? So, Cowboy Wrestlers Las Vegas needs the stadium, but under no circumstances that it should be rushed. It needs to be done right. Absolutely. That's all I'm saying. Just do the stadium right. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. All right, we'll pick this up tomorrow, folks, because it's 1:04. I'm going to dash off because got another big day ahead tomorrow with, Women's World Cup, among other things. I meant to do a vlog, and I will do one about Venus Williams' upset in Wimbledon. That's history. I'll explain why in my vlog. Hey, subscribe to Zenny62 if you haven't done so. I'll see you.